want to make sure my shit works.
Did I start recording? I did start recording.
Hey guys, happy Monday. Well, to y'all it'd be Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
We're recording on Monday. So just FYI. And by the way, it is actually so fucking hot. I just want to point this out. I'm looking at us. She's dressed appropriately. I am.
It's 84 degrees
super
outside.
anemic. So I'm cold all the time. But then I walked outside to get Cam and I was like, oh, it's a little hot. But I was freezing in my house. And I was frying chicken
inside.
and shit.
Oh, yeah. But you've been inside all day, right?
Yeah, I have been inside all day. I think I'm like a vampire. I'm like, oh, look how cold I am. I'm just always cold.
Oh, I'm like, my hands and my feet are usually.
Oh, yeah, your hands are your feet.
But nowhere else.
Yeah.
Everywhere else I'm furnace.
So it's nice outside, but I guess I'm dressed like it's still the winter.
Literally right when I get the kids off the bus, Harper goes, can we go swimming? It's hot. I'm like, oh, swimming? All the pools are closed.
I'm dead.
It's February 3rd.
I'm with you, girl. I'm like, let's go. Is Barton Springs open? Let's go.
Actually, fucking frigid.
I was looking at my calendar like, I need to take some time off in March because it was spring break.
Oh, yeah, girl.
I do want to do something with the kids. I brought a 10-person tent, and I would love to take our kids camping, and bitch, I cannot find it.
Really?
I don't know where it's at.
Is it in your storage shed outside?
I need to look. I'm like, and I know for a fact that I've not used it because me and Jonathan brought it a couple of spring breaks ago to take the boys to go camping, but it got Ben got really sick at the time. And so we canceled it, and then we just could never find another time because we had already allocated that time off and stuff, which he had to spend, caring for his son. So I'm like,
girl, I've been camped since I was 21. I was before kids, everything. I can glamp like a motherfucker.
You don't think we could get out there and camp one night?
Watch, we're gonna get fucking murdered. Okay, one night turns into a fucking Netflix movie.
Oh my god, don't say that. My mom would be like, camping.
I know, my mom too. Where's you gonna plug your fan in?
My mom would be like, you should be like, I don't know if that's safe. There's a lot of weirdos out there.
Oh yeah, my mom would be like, you know how you always watch those murder shows? Half of them are in the forest. I'm like, I know.
You can take the kids. Jet wanders off. What if he gets up in the middle of the night, unzips the tent, and then wanders off?
Oh my god.
She'll be saying shit like that.
I didn't even think about that.
She'll be saying shit she made me so paranoid.
Dude, we could put a lock on it. We could lock the 2 zippers.
We could, because when we went to New Mexico, she made me so fucking paranoid.
Watch, something gets in our tent. We're trying to get the fuck out. It's fucking locked. We're like, ah! Now we're the ones scratching at the fucking tent.
This is how we
We're gonna have to bring a knife.
But she made me paranoid when we went to New Mexico because I showed her the cabin. And she was like, that's nice, but it's in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, I know, I can't wait. There's just forest and
Did it have a hot tub?
No, it didn't. But it had views for days of mountains. It was in the middle of Nogales, New Mexico. And all these tall ass trees. It was snow in the morning. Loved it. Jed woke up one morning and he was like, eh. And I was like, wait, hold on. Then I went to peek out the window and it was snow. And I was like, oh shit. I had to get Ben and Cam. Get up, it's snowing.
Come look.
Yeah, but my mom made me paranoid that he could because he can unlock doors. And was like, what if he unlocks the door and he just wanders in the wilderness and you never find him again? So I went on Amazon.
Oh my God, did you get a baby-proof thing for the handle?
No, have you seen those hotel door locks? Where it's you jam it up top.
Oh, yeah, girl.
I got one of those. Which, by the way, if anyone ever has thought about those are
I was about to say, we should have had one for the cruise, but we didn't even know.
Yeah.
We were like, man.
Yeah. Who's going to kidnap me?
Girl, you've never seen that show, Killer Cruises?
Oh, no. No, I can never take another cruise. I don't want to take the kids on a cruise.
Well, to be fair, most of them are couples that get into a fight and one kills the other one.
Oh, I could see that. Just boop, throws him overboard. I don't know. She went to the casino. She never came back.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe she fell over. They're like, sir, the wall is 6 foot tall. How did she fall over? And he's like, oh, fuck.
That's genius.
I had to go, yeet. Yeah, well, what's... Yeah, sorry guys, that's kind of morbid. But what fucking sucked was I got Brianna all hype for her first cruise ever, and while we're on the cruise, 3 people died. In 3 different instances, on 3 different days.
Girl, what?
Yeah, and I was like, this bitch is never gonna cruise ever again, because nothing has ever happened like that while I was on a cruise. So it was nuts. Yeah, it was nuts.
Oh no, see, I can't. If that would happen to me, I'd have been like, no.
Yeah, so this one guy passed out in front of the gift shop and had a heart attack. This other lady yeeted herself off the back of the boat. Like, in the camera footage, she's by herself. She yeets. And then in Mexico, you know how y'all went snorkeling?
Yeah, I'm just going to close my jaw.
A guy, like, in his 50s, I think, had a heart attack while he was snorkeling and, like, basically, like, drowned plus heart attack or whatever.
I will say, snorkeling, I didn't even realize, because you're swimming so much, how physically draining it is.
Yes, that's why you're supposed to, like, chug water, and instead people chug alcohol after.
Well,
I'm
I
like,
chugged alcohol, and I was like, that was one day where I was like, okay. But the guy at the end of it was like, yeah, we roughly swam like 5 miles today. I was like, I'm sorry, sir, what?
You're like, I'm looking snatched.
It's like, I was like, not a drink. But it was like a hike. I guess it makes sense. Like, we can go on a hike, like on a tour somewhere. Usually those
you're moving around.
You're moving around those.
Well, you got to think about it. You're still moving your feet when you're snorkeling. It made
sense. He was like going all the way to the Jesus underwater.
Oh yeah, you got to touch the hand.
Yes, touch the hand and all that. He was like, that is about 5 miles, and I was like, okay, well, no wonder I'm exhausted. And I will say, one of the ladies who was with us, who was a little bit older in age, she went with her granddaughter. She had trouble getting back. He put her on the buoy and he just drug her back.
Yeah, see, that's what ends up happening is like older people are like, oh no, I can do this. And then after they've been doing it for so long and it's in the beaming ass sun, like you're not drinking any water or anything while you're doing
for hours,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't realize, oh shit, I might pass out.
I know, you guys had been like at the swim up bar for like what?
2 hours?
2 or 3 hours?
Yeah, it was 2 hours. We were waiting for y'all just because I was like, nah, last time I did that, I got so fucking sunburnt on my back because I just kept my face down in the water the whole time. Well, that's why I was telling Courtney, I was like, hey, did you put sunblock on it? She was like, yeah. I was like, no, you didn't, but okay. And she's wearing a thong bathing suit that day, and her whole ass got so burnt. Like, so burnt.
It's funny to me that you, like, say that, because it's, like, even, too, whenever, like, I told my mom about the cruise, I offered, actually, for her to go, and that I would pay for it, and she could bring the kids so, like, I wouldn't be away from it. She was like, no. She's like, and I don't think it... And I was like, I'll pay for it. She said no. But, again, to the point... So, today's episode, by the way, sorry, we haven't even said. Today's episode is...
Fuck around and find out. I'm just kidding.
Literally. No, but, like, advice... Like, not even advice. How would you say it?
Just tossing around different opinions, maybe?
I think it's parenting opinions.
Yeah.
From different parties. Like, I've had parenting opinions, I'll say more so from older generations within, like, my family or extended family, where I'm like, yeah, no, I saw the way you turned out, like, or your kids.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like, but my mom, like, she is definitely one who will voice her opinion, and she was like, it is not safe for the kids to be on that cruise.
Really? My sister and Pam just took the boys for a week.
Okay, I will say that Jed, probably at this age, I could kind of see her point.
Because try to go to dinner and he's like underneath the table and shit. Because he's not used to having to sit at like a fancy dinner for 2 hours. But he also
just runs off and he's fucking fast.
Oh yeah, girl. He'd be all the way down the stairs. We'd be all the way at the back of the boat. And he's at the front.
Yes. And like, there's some railing.
You'd have had to wear like that leash.
Yeah, I would have had like a leash on him the whole time, basically. So
but then we get stared at the entire time. We have our kid on a leash.
That's another thing. See, and I've had, the few times
like, oh my God, your kid's on a leash?
Unsolicited advice in public, it has taken everything in me not to lose my shit. Like, the first time, it was actually Jed being on his baby harness, which we call the baby leash. And me and Jonathan had took the boys to Renfest now 2 years ago, which is crazy to think about.
So he was 1?
Yeah, he was only 1 year old.
Oh, shit.
He was a little over 1 because, I was 23.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Anyways, so...
we always go off on tangents. We're so ADHD.
But he was on a leash and, like...
I forgot, bitch, my pillow for my back support. Girl. It's okay.
There's one right there.
I mean, yeah.
I was like, I don't know. You can get that one. I'm
old.
I naturally lean forward, so I'm always like, I bring the pillow and it just doesn't even get touched. It's like, whatever. But, so we were at Renfest and like, yes, I had to have him on it because there was so much going on and he was overstimulated. He wasn't yet diagnosed, but like it was clear.
That something else was going on.
going on. And there's so many people there. Like, God forbid. Like, he's not, even like if I put him in one of the trolleys like I used to with Cam.
He gets out.
He'll get out.
Like, he gets out. And he's like, fuck it. Yeah. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah. He won't hold my hand. Like, me and Kelly took the kids to Chinese New Year in San Antonio. And you could ask Kelly. At one point, he was like, to my hand. Like, he didn't want me to hold his hand because all the big kids were walking off. So he was trying to keep up. And he was like, nah, not you. He didn't want to hold my hand. He'll just run off. He doesn't care. And so this lady comes up to us, and Jonathan's staying by me. We're watching the boys, Ben, Cam, and Jed. We put them on like the spinning teacups because that was the only thing Jed was big enough to get on. We put him in between Ben and Cam.
Oh, nice cushion.
Nice little secure spot. And this lady comes up to me. She's like, "Are you the mom with the kid leash?" And Jonathan looked at her like, "Girl, you about to get beat up."
She's gonna be like, "Where'd you get it?"
I was like, "Excuse me?" And she said she was an educator and that, like, whatever, she had kiddos on the spectrum that also eloped and stuff. And I don't know. I just think that if she was, in fact, an educator, she probably saw my face. She could have been or could have not. Try to, like, on a whim be like, well, this is why I said that and laugh it off. But I was like...
Why do you randomly come up to somebody like that, though?
I'm a stranger. My thing is, I raise my kids that if there's a kiddo in a wheelchair, if there's a kiddo on a leash, whatever... Doesn't matter. They're a kid.
Yeah.
Like, as I think that stuff happens, like, but even too as an adult to an adult, I'm like, you've got some damn nerve asking me why he's on a leash, trying to suggest things. I don't.
What?
Goodbye.
Yeah. Well,
if he runs off, are you gonna help me find him?
Well, my thing is like, is she autistic? Like, just because. So, like, here's why I'm saying that, because there's not really any boundaries. Like, they kind of ask very immense questions. Like, for example, my friend's 14-year-old, one of my chubby aunts had showed up to a birthday party, and he went up to her and asked her if she was pregnant.
Oh.
It's just shit like that. So that's why I was saying, like, maybe she is too. Like,
maybe. I don't know. But I've had somebody else come up to me one time, and I was with Jonathan again. We took the boys to go walking, like, in the Zilker area where, like, the pedestrian park is, the bridge and stuff. And it was really fun, just, like, get them outside, get them outdoors. And, like, Jed was, like, wanting to be held, but he didn't want the leash. So me and Jonathan are taking turns. But he, after a while, gets heavy. He's like, dude, no, you can walk. And this older lady comes up to me, and I think she was just, like, trying to be like, I know more. She was like, you know, you could buy him one of those buggies, Mama. And you could, and I was like, girl, goodbye. I have a buggy. I have one, but he will not. He won't stay in it. And honestly, we're above Lake Austin. It is a lot easier for me or my boyfriend to hold him than us risk thinking he's in a buggy and, like, he jumped out 10 steps ago.
You know, he's like, yeah,
exactly. He's already.
You're like, son of a bitch.
So I'm just like, no. I guess for me, I would never give unsolicited advice. Like, as moms, like, we will come to each other and be like, girl, I don't know what to do with these kids. But, like, and there's times I'll go to my mom. But, like, I'm not going to just ever, like, Cam will have his kids one day. And if his kids, like, I see the TikToks where it's like, oh, like, this generation. Because he's like, I will not. I don't want to, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh. But if Cam wants his kids talk to him like that, I'm be like, I made faces. But I ain't gonna say nothing.
Nuts. But they ain't gonna talk to me like that.
Oh, hell no, they wouldn't talk to me like that.
But you're also gonna be the wild grandma.
I think I'm gonna be the wild grandma. I can't wait.
You're gonna be the one where it's like them and their friends, like, on cruises and stuff, and they're gonna invite you. You're the oldest person going, but you're the funnest.
I asked Cam once.
Is funnest a word?
More fun. Funnest is not a word. just so you're aware. Because you asked. See? It wasn't unsolicited.
More fun.
You asked. I didn't say nothing.
Funnest is way shorter.
It just makes sense. But grammatically,
I'm always making up funny words.
It's more fun or less fun. But funnest is not a word.
Funner.
But see, I did not say anything until you asked. That's what I'm saying. It's easy to just...
In my brain, it made sense. So I was just like, fuck it, say it.
And that's the same thing for parenting. In our brains, in our parenting mama brains, the things that we do, we know they make sense for our kids.
Yeah. Well, and because we know them the best.
Right.
But a lot of time people will be like, Oh my God, well, if it were my kids, well, it's not, so bye. Like, but, well, and then people get
Literally.
offended, and they're like, God, you're rude. No, I'm not rude. You're just expecting something from me that I'm not going to give you. Like, it's my rules. What I say goes. Like,
It's insanity to me when people say, God, that's rude, because you would not take their outburst thought and take it and say, oh, thank you, immediately. To me, I always am like, you know what? Anything you say is always reflective, right?
yeah.
So if you're just like, gosh, she is just so strange, maybe you're a little strange.
Yeah.
I
I'm
know.
just like, no, it's because I'm forthcoming with how I feel. That makes me a
Right.
bitch, or it makes me mean.
No, but do
Okay.
you see what I'm saying? They're like,
That's so stupid.
they have the because I've had that happen. Someone be like, God, that was rude. Okay, so it was not rude for you to
Poke your
forcefully,
nose
put
where it
your
doesn't
opinion
belong.
where it doesn't belong.
No.
Not ask me for it. Like, no, that actually was rude. And you're gaslighting me to think that I'm the culprit, that I'm the villain in the story of your narrative, because I didn't just lay over and conform to what you said and say, gee, thank you so much for saying that. No.
Well, then, so I started to get where I'd be like, okay, sounds good. Would be my like, but I would still continue to do what I wanted to do. But I'd be like, okay, sounds good. So now if I say that to certain people, they're like, well, I know that basically means go fuck yourself. I was like,
See,
okay, sounds good.
and
Like,
my problem is like I guess with me I take my parenting because I know
To
what's
heart.
to heart.
Yeah.
First of all, like anyone who knows me can say I absolutely love kids and I love being a mom. Like I'm definitely like when Brittany says I'm gonna be the wild grandma, because it's like I'm the type I'm like, yeah, bring them. Like the kids can be here.
yeah.
I don't.
care.
My house can get dirty. I do not care. My house, like, there's food here. Like, I love
No, I
it.
ate a bunch of chicken pieces before we came over
I
here.
know.
Now I'm bitch is tired. I'm like, I need a nap now.
She's like, you frying chicken? I was,
know,
like,
I was
I
like,
sure am.
I know, it
Homemade
smells so
chicken,
good.
popcorn chicken, yeah.
So good.
And I just love doing that stuff. But secondly, I also know what's at risk. My parenting will be the determining factor, and what I do and don't allow to be input in my child's life will be the determining factor on how they become adults.
Yeah.
And I have seen adults that I'm like, oof, something happened I mean, it's true, right? Like
trauma.
literally.
Yeah. Well, no, Lannon's new. So Lannon transferred from a regular therapist, like a play therapist for kids, to a psych therapist because of his impulsive control
Yeah.
stuff. And they were like, "Oh, has he been through any physical trauma?" And I was like, "My kid has probably been spanked like 2 times in his whole life, and he's about to be 10."
Right.
I was like, "He doesn't get his mouth popped. Like he doesn't receive any physical trauma." I said, "But he is a military kid, and he has moved 8 different times in 10 years." And the husband was like, "Oh yeah, that can be very traumatic for kids." I was like, "So yes, he has trauma."
Right. Right. And again,
Yeah.
only you know then what's going to help your child. And if you go and you're going to get a professional opinion.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But you're asking for it. Unsolicited opinions, to me, I just personally, I don't take well to them. Because it's like, you can have your opinion internally. I have my own opinions internally. But then when you put those things on a child, which could compromise their ability to grow up and choose their own
You put him
path,
under a stigma, like
we have an issue. Like,
Yeah.
and even too, one time me and my mom got in a huge argument because my mom has her own opinions on marriage. You know, she does. I think after being divorced twice after 2 long marriages, there is a little bit of, I don't want to say like bitterness, but I think she just has the perspective of nothing lasts. Nothing is forever. Right? And
So why do it?
So why do it? And that's her choice, but she is a full-grown adult woman who has been on this earth a half century plus, right? She's lived her life. And Camden has not. I have my own opinions on marriage too, but when it comes to like marriage, when Camden and I talk about it, you know, I'm always like, these are what I think, son. This is what I would recommend you follow. I want you to guard your heart. I do want Camden to date. I tell him that. What I don't want is for me to say, you can never date. And then the first girl you fall in love with may not be the
Hide
best.
from me.
You hide from me. Something
you're
happens.
heartbroken.
You're heartbroken.
Yeah.
Or you're so attached to her that I don't want Camden to be a teen parent like I was. It was hard. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, my mom's going to make us break up, so we'll just have a baby. Like, those things happen. They're real.
Ugh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
And so it's like, I don't want one way or the other. I also don't want Camden to grow up. Like, I'll tell him, like, I'm sorry, me and your dad could not make it work. We're still a family. We still show up for you. You know, your dad loves you. You know that I love you. We'll always be here for you, even if we're not together.
Yeah.
And I pray and hope that one day you go into a marriage. That's why I say take your time, son. Because when you go into a marriage, it should be a commitment. And that goes past, if you guys divorce, you will still be committed to her because you'll have children with her.
Yeah.
So if you have children with her, I expect you to do what your dad does, which is he still shows up. You will still have to show up for her. You get remarried, have more kids. Guess what? Your children from your first marriage and your first wife, they are still partly your responsibility. Yeah. That is my view on it, right?
Me too. Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, oh, nothing lasts. Or, I mean, you could. Or why would you even get married? Because then that starts to put these seeds in my son's head of like, well, I don't want to get married. Mom was divorced twice and she's right. Grandma was... I'm like, no, give my child the opportunity to choose.
To think of his own. Yeah. Well, that's just like with, you know, my ex and I from my marriage with the kiddos. At first it was not good. Not good at all. But like recently, you know, when Harper was sick, we were both splitting the medicines, the Gatorade, like, and that was so nice. Like, it was like, dude, I'm already like sweating, paying, you know, all these bills. And so it was just nice that I didn't have to front out. Well, because you're not expecting, $100, you know, for the prescriptions plus the nasal stuff that they need, all the Gatorade, because she had the flu.
It's expensive when they get sick.
Her like breathalyzer thing. So I was just like, damn, I wasn't expecting to drop it was like $120 just because she was sick, and I was like, fudge. And
Cam's copay was $80. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, when I called, she's like, no problem, I'll Venmo you. I was like, thank you so much.
Yes.
Like, that's what I'm talking about.
Right, that's how
it's so nice. Yeah.
And
we've actually been getting along really good because of it.
And I've had to own my mistakes. My parenting is always like, hey, I'm going to just give you the facts, but you will have to make your decision. I'm not going to tell you, you better not marry your childhood's, you know, your high school sweetheart. What I will tell you is, I wish me and your dad, really, we could have made it work, but it was better that we didn't, and here's why. Me and your dad made the mistake in our experience. That's not to say everybody's. In our experience, son, we made the mistake of having you way too young, and we tried our best, but we were children when we had you. Really, we were 17 and 18 years old when we got pregnant with you. So we were kids ourselves.
Yeah.
And then when you think about it, we divorced at 24, 23 years old. Let me see, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, we were like 24 years old. So I'm like, we tried our best. And had we done maybe things a little bit differently, had you later, I know Cayman really didn't date before me. I didn't really date a whole lot before Cayman. You know what I mean? I had a few long-term I was always like a person who was like, just like, okay, like I'll be with this person and...
Just so that I can have a title? Or like kind of be like, oh, I have a boyfriend.
No, I think it was just like, I was scared to like date around. Okay. Like I was scared to date around because my mom put a lot of fear in me. Right? Yeah. So like, and that's why I want Camden to date. So then I didn't have the experience. So the first person that I fell in love with, I was like, okay, yeah, like we could have a kid. Bitch, you are 17. Absolutely. If Camden, I would be like, no, but I didn't have the experience. I thought that this was it. Either I secure this person and...
Thank you for having Pepsi, by the way.
Oh, no, you're welcome. And I didn't know if you got the sweet tea or the Pepsi. I had both.
And the Pepsi for now.
But I tried to secure that relationship with the child, and so did Cayman. Like, what a lot of people don't realize is me and Cayman, like, we knew that the possibility of having Camden was there because we used no preventative measures. None. We were just like, I mean, it's just the truth.
Like, fuck it.
If it happens, it happens. Neither of us had jobs. I was in college. He was still in school, too. He was the only one who had a car, didn't have a vehicle at the time. Like, we were so delusional, but it's because both of our parents were so strict that we had no clue. We literally, our engagement pictures. Have you ever seen our engagement pictures?
No.
It's sad. We look like kids.
Really?
I'll have to put it on like...
Put it as the
cover.
Yeah.
With Cayman's blessing, because he gets really mad. Like, he'll be like, oh, he's like very... like he said before, he doesn't have any social media or anything like that.
I know, but he'll see it because he does our edits.
He does our edits, yeah. So I'll be like, can you, he'll be like, well, I want to be respectful of his relationship too. So if it's okay with them, then I'll put it on there. But we are.
If not for, at least send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you because we are babies.
Oh my God.
Like, the photographer was very confused when he showed up. He was like, are these engagement photos? Because how old are you?
Really? Were y'all engaged before you got pregnant or during?
I think we got engaged right before.
Well, at least you were thinking about the ring before the baby.
Yeah, that's true. My ring was from Walmart.
Girl, that was my first wedding ring too.
Really? Hell yeah. That's when they still had the people at the counters.
Yep. And they would help you out and be like, let me try that one.
My little, like, $200 ring.
I know it was. Hey, I wore that bitch for 10 years.
I wore it for 7 years. And you know what?
It didn't bother me at all.
One time, and Walmart replaced it. They actually had a good warranty.
I had 2 diamonds that fell out or whatever, like out of the main one, and they replaced it for free.
Yeah, Walmart replaced it back then. I don't know if it's still like that, but...
Fuck no.
Girl, like,
no, they're like, batteries, $30. You're like, fuck.
They're like, we'll get you a brand new ring. I was like, oh, okay. But... yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. There's long-term effects to having someone who maybe they can have their own opinions of life or things, but, like, even if, like, let's say, like, I don't know, you don't believe in college. Why would you tell a kid, like, you don't got to go to college. College is for suckers. You know what I mean?
But what if they really want to go to college?
Right, because then you just kill their spirit.
Well, that's just like the other day when Allie was talking to Harper, and she was just like, she had said something about God, and she was like, well, not me particularly, just because I believe that there's a higher spirit, but not necessarily God. And that's called, atheist?
I don't know.
Whatever. I don't remember. But she was trying to explain it. It wasn't just like, oh, just because it's me personally.
It's not like she's telling her, like,
don't
there
believe
is
in
no
God.
God.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
She was like, me personally. So I really appreciated that. I was
right.
like, wow.
And nice. Even too, I think, like, as adults, it's like our job to know boundaries too. It's like if Harper came to me and was like, Miss Eddie, do you think there's a God? I'd be like, oh, where's your mama? You know what? You need to go watch something. What you want to watch? And you know what?
You want some ice cream?
Yes, I would, because it's not my conversation to have.
Yeah. Well, and that's just like Landon on the way here was like, hey, Mom, can you turn off the radio for a second? And I was like, sure. He's got a major question. He was like, what happened to my ex-brother-in-law and his wife and all that? And I was just like, well, baby, sometimes grown-ups grow apart. And he's like, yeah, but they were married. I was like, that doesn't matter, baby. Sometimes people just, something happens and they can't get along anymore. Or just over time they fall out of love. Like, I'm like, I'm not going to put their business out there. He's 9 years old.
Right.
But it's true. Like, people grow apart. So I didn't lie, you know, but I also am not going to tell their business.
Right. You can say it in a way that, again, you feel is best for your child when you're ready to have that conversation. I remember when Camden was 5, when me and his dad split, the conversation I had with Cayman, I sat down Camden, or not Cayman. When I knew me and Cayman were going to split, I sat down Camden, I asked him, I was like, can I ask you something? He was like, what? And I had, like, we had made some kind of, like, dessert or something, so we're just sitting eating. I was like, do you think your dad and I love each other? And he straight up at 5 was like, no. And I was like, oh, why? Okay. And he was like, because y'all fight all the time. That's also what did it. That's why I knew I needed to get divorced, because we were fighting constantly.
Girl, you're not even together. Y'all still fight when you're in the same room.
We do.
If they're in the same room with each other, I just walk off.
It's a personality and again, that's what I tell Camden. We never fought like that when we were teenagers, but we are now 15 years later, 2 very different people with very different views.
Yeah.
And even when it comes to our parenting, we have to still get together and be like, this is, like, the other day I had to talk to Cayman because I was like, Camden wants to start learning how to drive. What do you think? Because what I don't want is to us not be on the same page. I need Cayman to be able to give me his opinion before he sends it to Cam.
Yeah.
Because Cayman may
We're going to talk first.
We're going to talk first, right? What I don't want is, like, let's say someone be like, oh, yeah, like, why the hell isn't he driving? Shit, I could, blah, blah, blah. No, sir. Because then he's going to think, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we had to get on the same page about it. And frankly, like, we already kind of were. Because I was like, Camden wants a car, like a little car in the next 3 years. We got to start saving now. And he was like, I agree. But he was like, I'm going to tell you this. one major fuck up. I ain't buying no fucking car. I was like, great, I agree. So we sat down, Camden. We were like, you do any of these things, no negotiating. That car, out the fucking window.
Yeah, you're going to have to work a job on the side after school or on the weekends so you can get money to get your own car.
Well, we were like, if you have a major fuck up and you work, you'll get that car when you're out of our house. Or if you want to buy a car while you're in our house, we still have the ability to get the keys. Just because you brought it, you live in our fucking, well, not our house, but my house. You know what I mean? Or we're trying to parent you. Yeah. So Kayla was like, yeah, your mom's right. I agree. You fuck up and you bought your own car. You can't be like, well, this is my car. I brought it. Well, this is my fucking house. Give me the keys.
Well, the only thing about that is if y'all didn't buy it, because he could call the cops and say
call the cops?
Well, no, because girl, I went through that. I got my keys. The car's in my name. It was in my name.
Oh shit!
You can't take the keys, whether they live with you or not. It's basically you do auto theft.
Then I'd be like,
but
then you can
put yourself on the note with him, and then you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, be on there with it. Yeah,
or on the title.
Yeah, because if he that's just like if he goes and gets his own cell phone plan, you can't ground him from his cell phone if he's paying for it.
I can break it.
Eddie,
I can.
That's me.
Everyone
I know, but when they were like, "You can't do that," I was like, "Give my keys."
Girl, you know what's crazy is
give my keys.
The amount of times my mom took Star's
car. Really?
Yeah, and Star brought that car cash by herself. Her little Pontiac that she had forever.
Oh shit! Really?
She brought it by herself.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
They'll be like, nah, it's in their name.
In a Mexican household, it's different.
I was about to say, white people so fast to be like, 911, excuse me.
Yeah, and you just saw my Mexican come out. I'm like, let's call the cops.
I know, you were like, call them. Call the popo, ho.
Yeah. I ain't scared no popo. Like, sitting out there in my chanclas, they'll be like, ma'am, you have to give him his keys.
Fuck.
You can't eat here anymore. You're grounded from the fridge.
Yeah, I put locks on everything in there.
I'd find a way. But I mean,
it's funny.
I guess all that to say is like, this has kind of been a light episode, but it's like, I don't know. I think that if someone goes and asks you for advice, just with anything in life.
Yeah. Right?
But then understand like the serious possible repercussions of you just giving unsolicited advice either to a parent or giving unsolicited advice to their child, especially if a parent is not around.
Yeah, no. I always, when my kids are away, like at my ex mother-in-law and father-in-law's, I'm always like, so, how'd it go? You know, hoping they'll spill some tea, and they're always pretty kosher. Good. Yeah, so I'm like, well, that's good.
Right.
It means there's no hostile environment for them.
Yeah, because you don't want a kid hearing stuff like, oh, I can't believe your mom feeds you this junk. Or, why did your mom use that lotion? That lotion's terrible. Even those things are very negative things for a child to experience.
Well, yeah, because I'm their number one.
Exactly.
I do everything and anything for them.
Exactly. And it makes them feel like, you're killing a part of their spirit. Maybe there are moms out there who think that their kids should not have certain things, right?
Yeah.
But for other parents, like, that may be
something. It is what it is.
Yeah, like, all they can afford, or something that's, like, a staple in their home, or
no, I've only ever made fun of you for giving Jed soda and candy at, like, 9 o'clock at night, whenever we're trying to have a parents hangout, and she's like, girl, it's late, he'll go crazy, and then he'll crash.
And he does!
And he does. He literally will go crazy. He'll, like, go, like, fucking wild thornberries up in here, and then all of a sudden he's zonked. He's fucking done. And she's like, I wait to cave until as late as possible, like, if I can.
But see, and that's what I'm saying.
I was like, hey, whatever works for you, girl. I was
exactly, because people don't know.
This isn't my life. Like,
I've seen people watch me and, like, clearly judge me. And I'm like, when you have an autistic child who, by the way, when they're autistic and they want something,
you're not
that's
supposed to.
it.
Yeah, that's all they think about. But then, like, the top is like, don't feed autistic children sugary drinks and
red
candies.
Dyes and I was like, fuck. But I'm like, I can't, like, if
he loves it.
Because then it's like he's crying for hours. And I'm sorry, but I'm a single parent of an autistic child. So if I get some time with my girls and he's there and it takes a bag of candy for him to chill out for a little bit or eventually fall asleep, I'm going to give it to him.
Last time she forgot to bring a bag and the guys left and went and got him candy from the store.
I was like, please. And this is how much I like. Even the guys were like, "All right, it's time."
Yeah, he was
they
like,
were
candy,
driving him
candy.
nuts. Yeah, he was like, "Candy, candy."
Yeah.
Omar and Jared were like, "Fuck it."
We're going to the store.
I was like,
You're like, hey, why are you there? Got me a sody.
that was at the
Fucking
time I
funny.
gave Georgia a soda. Oh god.
Hey, she got a diagnosis.
She did. She got. But that is even a prime example of me. Like that was bad. I wasn't unsolicited to give my opinion, but I should have been like, "Can she have this?" And I did
Girl,
ask.
I feel so bad because I accidentally did that last Sunday. I accidentally fed my friend's baby a piece of cookie. Well, he's like 1.5, but still, I didn't know. They were like, oh, we've never given him chocolate. I was like, oh shit. I had already like, I didn't give him a full piece, but I had like broke off a piece of the cookie and put it like right here. But I was like, oh shit.
He saw his eyes wide.
Well, I'm just so used to having my nephews all the time like around, and I'm just like, oh, here, if I'm eating it, you can eat it. And I
Yeah.
was just like, oh fuck, Brittany, you
There's
fucking,
nothing
you
wrong
didn't,
with
you forgot to ask.
Catching yourself with knowing, yeah, I should have. And I did ask Brianna, but I asked her after I gave it to Georgia because I
After?
saw the look on Georgia's face, and I was like, "You've never had something." I was like, "Oh shit!"
You fucked up.
I did fuck up.
Because then the whole rest of the time she was like, coming back up to Eddie. Eddie's like, fuck, your mom's gonna know.
I was like,
Go away.
Brianna was like, "Did you give her soda?" I was like, "No."
No. That shit was hilarious.
I know.
Well, we've learned. We've learned.
We've
Now we have to
learned.
ask. Like, we're not moms to every person's kid. Like,
Right, and
And that's what's hard is like I try to be like, oh, I can pretend, not pretend to be your mom, but like
I
take
love
care
you.
of you in a motherly way. Yeah.
Yes, and I think that's why I give more grace to like you guys or my mom even too, because I see the love, the place of love it comes from, or the help, like you're just trying to help. A stranger though, I'm like, oh, something's wrong with you. You just,
Oh no.
yeah, no, you're not. You have no other reason than to just want to give your unsolicited opinion versus if it comes from a family member or a close friend.
It's like, hey, I've seen you've been struggling with this or X, Y, and
Right.
Z. Well, and that's just like whenever I still lived here in Buda, and you know, me and Courtney just lived around the block from each other. She has yelled at Landon a couple of times. I yelled at Hunter a couple of times. I'm like, Well, and I was just mainly because if I hear somebody talking to one of my friends a certain way, I'm gonna be like, hey, you should. Like,
Girl.
you should settle down
You were sick.
with the attitude. I will fuck you up.
You were sick, but the one time we went to Brianna's for Kelly and other Brianna's birthday, Camden caught an attitude with Courtney. And
Oh.
he about lost his damn mind. I snapped on him so quick. I was like, you know what? I should let Courtney snap on you because she's way scarier than me.
Oh yeah, no, she was yelling at Landon like this from up the stairs. She was like, you know what? This is my house. And I said no. I was like, she's so fucking right. She said no.
You heard her.
You get her. Get him.
And as a single mom, I think sometimes in our community it's nice to have backup.
Yeah.
Because we sometimes don't.
But then sometimes the backup makes me want to back my hand up. Because I'm like, okay, hold up. I'm already trying to fix it right here. Like, give me a second.
Right.
Because 3 people yelling at my kid at once, Landon will shut the fuck down.
Yeah.
He'll just stop talking and just start bawling, and he'll never tell me what happened.
Yeah.
And I don't like that shit. I'm like, hold up. If I'm already settling it, let me in unless I go, hey, I need your assistance, you know?
Right.
But I don't know.
It's a hard line to walk.
It is, yeah.
It really is. I think so too.
I think we're doing good.
Yeah, no one's going to be perfect. People are going to give their opinions. It's you as a parent, though, that you have to say, like, hey, these are my boundaries for my kids. Just like we set them for ourselves, we have to set them for our children.
Yeah.
Please don't tell my child
It's
that.
well, it's just like morals. It's like, you know, if you're like, okay, I would love us to be, you know, a church going family and love
Right.
God. That's your morals, right?
Right.
But once your kids explore themselves and life and stuff, they don't have to have those same morals just because they're yours.
Right.
But some people are like, oh no, I implanted that in them. This is how they should be. Or like, how could you have turned out gay? We went to church every Sunday and Bible school, every Bible study every Wednesday. And I'm like, that doesn't make somebody not gay.
Or
like,
even push it on, like, another family.
Yeah.
Like, we go to church every Sunday. That's just who we are, right?
Yeah.
Like, we love it. It brings me and Camden closer. He's starting to go to youth group now at, like, the church we're going to. But, like, we would never be like, oh, maybe you just need Jesus. Like, we're not going to be, because, like, and that's
Dude,
true, but I've heard people fucking say that.
I have said that to one person before. And it's because I was just like, there is no other way that you're not either going to be a serial killer or you found God in prison. Like,
Not
so
the
you
found God in prison.
So you
That,
need Jesus
you have
right
nothing but
now.
time.
Yeah, you need Jesus right now. So
Yeah.
none of those things happen.
No. I just can't. I can't push it. Like, even too, like, the most I think I'll ever say is, like, I'm praying for you, right?
Yeah, I do tell people that too.
Like,
it's
because
because it's
I
true.
truly will, yeah.
It's true.
Like,
yeah.
if I love you, like, I pray every night and every morning. And, like, if something's going on, one of my friends, like, even too, like, one of our friends is trying to sell her home. And when me and Kelly, like, got together the other day, I saw the sign. And she's like, yeah, girl, we're going to have an open house Sunday. And I was like, oh, shit, yeah. Like, I saw that on, Brittany's thing. And I was just like, God, please, like, sell this house. Like, and if no one shows up on Sunday, that's okay because you have the right buyer with the right lender. Your timeline is best. When she needs to move and she'll be able to do so. Like, and again, our friend does not have to believe in that. It's just a form of my love, but I'm never going to push it and be like, and you should pray too.
Yeah, why aren't you praying with me?
Yeah, I'm going to be like, no, this is how I love you, other than, like, being there for you and supporting you as much as I can. But, like, this is a part of my love to you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to push it on you, or more importantly, I'm never going to push it on your children.
Well, and that's the thing is that I wait for my kids. Like, so sometimes they'll be like, Mom, can we get back into a church? And I'll be like, yeah. And then I forget, but I need to do better about that. But next time they ask me, yes.
Next time they ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is hard.
It is.
Yeah.
Just because usually on Sundays I try to, like, do a little side gig for money and stuff like that. So, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Cam. He wants to go to youth group, and we missed last youth group, but he will be going to this one, so.
Get your youth
it's
on.
It's at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night, but
okay.
It's because it's middle school plus. And so they go in the evening in the middle of the week, but we will do it. He asked.
You're like,
that's the best I can do.
You're like, shit, you better be on your best behavior.
Yeah. That I will. I'll be like, if you're not behaving, we don't go. It's a privilege in this house. A privilege.
A privilege? You're making up words too now.
What'd you say?
You're going to say funner
it's
later
funner
on.
A word? I said no. It so ain't.
I just literally look at it like runner, but with an F.
With an F. You're like,
funner. I'm going to put that one in the dictionary. How much do you have to pay?
Ooh, you know what I should do?
What?
I should play you bitches in Scrabble. I'd kill it.
Dude, me too, making a bunch of different words. No,
because you have to refer to the dictionary.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I haven't played that since I was, like, in high school. That's probably why.
It.
You love Scrabble? Oh, God, now she's going to have a Scrabble night. Galentine's. For Galentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
We could bring games.
I have decor I have to show you. Anyways, we'll let you guys go. I'm going to show her decor, and we're going to finish this chicken I made.
Yeah, it's so fucking
delicious. Till next time, mamas.
Bye, guys.
Bye.